podcast. Welcome to the Vin and Sori village. Welcome to the fireside. Here we talk about blah 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 blah. If you'd like to. What?
Well, it already started, so.
Introduce it.
Welcome to the Vin Sori village. Tonight we're going to be talking about who knows what subject. And Vin is getting a snack or something and coming right back. Hopefully, we get into some crazy debates tonight. And let me see if I can find you guys. Hopefully, we get it.
About 42% before tonight. Oh, boy. You got it? We're good to go?
I said, watch me playing a great game. The best game ever. Ugh.
Thumbs up, dog.
What?
Seems on Mikasa. Nope, not on.
Oh. Hey, Tyler. What's up? Hey, Leah. I want to play a game spoken in creepy Saw guy voice. I never saw Saw.
Really?
No. Are you kidding me? Does that look like something I would watch? I would play that game we were playing with you.
What game?
Hey, that's pretty cool, actually. There's this little thing that traps a spider so you can let it go and keep it away from you. BM fan. I think I was just looking at your message.
Can people hear us?
Oh yeah, can you
What's
guys hear
going on,
us?
Leo?
Death Spell Omega. There's Ben Webb.
That means we shouldn't see it. Ben Webb said we should.
Yeah, it was like The Walking Dead. I think that's what it was, The Walking Dead. But it was when we went to play the games with the kids. And yeah, they said this. It sounds good. And I was like, oh, let's go play that game. And like, but it was scary for me. And Vin kept saying, shoot that guy, shoot that guy. And you had to shoot these arrows into their heads. Actually, you know what I did like? When they would turn either blue or green, depending on which one of us got it. Because every time it got a blue, I was like, that's right.
Yeah, we gotta, we gotta buy that game.
Really?
Yeah, why not?
Oh my gosh. Can we get a two-player game?
Was I in
that?
shorts today when I was playing against
Yep.
Dorian?
Unfortunately.
Oh. It's a rather personal picture, but okay. Okay.
We finished Vikings. We're as far as we can go. What's up? D Miller 661. What? What, babe?
Greetings from the home of jazz.
Jazz. Can you get me a water from the fridge, please?
Is this some sort of test? Hola from Tejas,
I'm very thirsty.
Texas. Do you seriously want a water?
Yes, I seriously want a water.
Right? The deal is, but okay.
Well, I'm always the one going around, so I figured I would send you. Okay, bye, Mandy. See you in 15. You guys, we're slowly working down our candy here. This is what's left. And that's why my cheeks are chubbier.
That's not why your cheeks are chubbier.
Why are my cheeks chubbier? Because I've been eating bagel sandwiches?
No.
Why? Because I enjoy food? What kind of insulting thing is coming? Just say it and get it over with.
What do you mean insulting?
I don't know.
I just read this interesting diatribe against Jordan Peterson. I thought that was interesting. And then the diatribe ended with, please listen to your brown friends of color. So I was like, okay, well, I'm brown, so do I count? I haven't heard a response yet.
Bagels with mayonnaise. Ew, Leah. That's disgusting. Matthew Winter, how are you?
It's really disgusting.
I actually think the last name Winter is kind of cool. Until February, and then I'll be like, that last name sucks.
I just got that.
Play the double harmonic scale. The Keepers might be the best thing on Netflix. Sounds scary. And Jordan Peterson is such a meek and inoffensive person to hate, LOL. Yeah, I think he's really meek too. I don't understand people wildly hating the man. I'm like, how can you just look at him? Sorry, I love. With a little beep.
Mm-hmm.
Cannibal Corpse? Have we not done Cannibal Corpse?
We have not.
Is there a reason? Sori Singh, Vin Shred. I'm really not. You would probably tell me to stop. Please, please. But I have a little rap that I'm going to put out soon. I just have to get Vin to do it with me. Because he's got a part in it too.
Sori will hate CC.
Really? Why will I hate it? Vin, I think that B string is a tad out of tune. There's much problems with this guitar. It's missing its bottom E string altogether. I guarantee Sori will hate Cannibal Corpse. Sori making a diss track? It's a survival track. He's really good at making diss tracks, though. Don't start a rap battle with him unless you plan to lose. We were all around the table, and the kids, that food I had that recorded, people would have liked that. So the kids were doing their raps. I really can't. Like my family, we never did rapping, stuff like that. And so they all start doing these rap battles. And our oldest son, did this. Was that when he was still in his, phase with me?
Yeah.
Yeah, so he did, this mean, rap diss toward me. And, he came up, tore it up. I was like, what? It never happened again after that.
Never.
I don't even remember what was... It's okay, Space Sori, you're white. I know, that's the thing. But we have some friends that are white and they can rap fine, but It's just... Wow, the redheaded girl, I can't... Catherine.
Oh. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, she can rap.
Yeah. But it's I think part of it too is a pride thing because, well, I don't know, because sometimes I'm alone by myself in the car and I try to rap and it just doesn't work out. But I think part of it is a pride thing. When I'm like, yeah, Eminem is white. But all that pressure to want to perform and do a good one, and it just I have to be all of a sudden the one that I did, all of a sudden I was just it just kind of came and it just I didn't even have to try. So but we have no time in the day. I have a ton of messages to talk back to people and stuff, and I'm behind on a bunch of things, so I don't see us going around putting together a song until let's hear your rap story. No way I'm gonna put that shit together with the music in the back and stuff. I want it to be full on good. And F is white. That's true. Very true. Ben.
Beastie Boys. Yeah, but they can't rap. So, it's not the same.
Want to hear those Christian disses? Vanilla Ice.
He's half black, so that doesn't count.
He's also half white. Chris, we love you too.
All right, so what are we doing? What are we talking about? Oh, I'm supposed to get Homegirl the link for the live stream.
Oh.
Shit. Do. You guys want to talk about Jordan Peterson? What do you want to talk about?
Should I post this link on Patreon too?
What link? Yeah.
For this show? Okay.
Probably.
I'm gonna do that. Stand by. Where's the thing? Isn't it usually like over here?
Well, that's when you put it as unlisted. If you go back to it.
If I put it on, do I put it unlisted?
No, what you do is just go to view on watch page.
Yeah.
And leave page. And then copy and paste from the browser.
Oh, up here.
Yeah. Alex Jones. I don't have a lot of thoughts on Alex Jones. He's an interesting chap. I don't have a lot of thoughts on him because I haven't really watched him a lot. I do think it's interesting that he got, I guess, shut down by YouTube. And I'm not particularly certain that I agree that that is a case of censorship because YouTube is a private company. It's not like if America would have said, okay, you know, Alex Jones is, where's the link, babe?
What?
It says we're live, come and see us. But
yeah, but you click right on there, I think.
If you click there, it'll get you the link.
I think it just starts playing it right there.
Oh, I'm trying to get Homegirl the actual
Hi, Mandy.
link.
Yeah, but the actual link that is right here.
There you are.
You got it?
Yeah.
Ah, she's already here.
How do you know?
She just said I'm in.
Oh, okay. What's up, Homegirl? Okay.
Stop being nice. I want her to stay. Fuck you.
Fuck you.
Motherfucker.
Now you're going to stay?
Good, we got you.
All right. So what are we talking about, y'all? The Space Force. Yes, that's something we could talk about. What's up, big homie Jay? Alex Frank is up in the house. I'd love to talk to Alex Jones. I disagree with him on everything, but I think it would be a fun conversation. Then again, I wish I could talk to Charles Manson too. How are your neurons?
I know.
My neurons are excellent. Even though I have no other choice in the matter.
Ultimate Musings. I used the shampoo today and the conditioner. This is very nice.
Oh, that's right. We got free shampoo and conditioner. Of course, he didn't send me anything.
Stop. He did send you something. It's on the way.
Is it because I'm black?
It's on the way.
Tell the truth, Ultimate
It's on the way.
Is it because I'm black?
He probably didn't know which kind of products go in this.
Racist bastard. Woohoo! My first fireside. Welcome. Glad to have you. I think we should do a live reaction to Big Bird.
Big Bird?
The Religious Liberty Task Force. What the hell is that? Oh, that's right. The Religious Liberty Task Force. Yeah.
Ultimate music. Nice, Vin.
I feel like we should have a Flint water crisis task force before we have a religious liberty task force. Good Lord. You're barely black. Somebody said, you're barely black.
Are you? Are you barely black?
I'm not barely black, believe me. I am not barely black.
You know what I missed was wrestling. We can't wrestle in this room anymore.
Yeah.
Because there's too much expensive stuff.
I know.
Do you miss that too, or is it just me?
What?
It's just me.
Being able to wrestle you?
Yeah.
No, it was fun if I had a certain type of move, but you're right. We have like thousands of dollars of equipment.
There's
in there.
no wrestling.
Thoughts on Candace Michelle getting called a white supremacist? Is that right? Are you Jamaican, Vin?
Yeah, he is.
Where is that? Somebody's called a white supremacist? Who's Candice Michelle? I don't know who Candice Michelle is.
Yeah, Ultimate Musing. My youngest was in there, and I said, "Smell my hair. What does it smell like?"
What do you think?
She was like, "Oh."
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
She's like, "Ah." She said, "It smells like a popsicle." I said, "What color popsicle?" She was like, "Green." I'm like, "You're right."
Do I like reggae? I like Bob Marley. Buja Banton. Oh boy, Alec. I don't know about anybody being a white supremacist. I don't know who Michelle is. I'm too busy doing YouTube work.
Jamaicans aren't even the proper shade of black. Vin is basically a poser.
He's basically a poser. What the hell is wrong with this kid?
I don't know. I mean...
Wait, she's a black conservative? How the hell can she be a white supremacist if she's a black conservative? I don't understand that.
Hi guys, I just commented on your Faith No More videos addressing the arm part of the lyrics. I'd appreciate it if Sori would take a look at it. Thanks. What arm part?
Well, he arm fist thing. Well, maybe if you would copy and paste it, brother, it'd be better.
Vin, do you watch hockey? People are always asking me that. I've never seen you watch hockey.
I watched one game of hockey. It was in the Olympics when it was being held in Canada, and freaking Sidney Crosby killed us in extra time, and that was the end of it. I after that, I didn't want to watch hockey ever again.
Stop seeing color people. We are all human. One race, one world. We all bleed the same. I actually don't agree with that. I always feel like that we should celebrate other races and that we should see color because that's part of the beauty of the world is all the different color.
Oh, is Candace... Okay, so Candace Owens...
The one that got kicked out?
The one that got kicked out and all the white people were yelling at her, calling her down with white supremacy?
Yes.
I think the left wing needs to like have a meeting.
Yeah.
I think they need to figure some shit out.
Yep.
Because you kicked a black woman out of an establishment. A bunch of white folks kicked a black lady out of an establishment and then screamed in her face. Like any other headline, like that's some racist shit to do.
Oh, I know.
Some discriminatory shit to do. But because she's a black conservative,
right.
It's okay to do. Like that type of discrimination is okay. Like they kicked a black lady out of a restaurant because they wanted to crush white supremacy.
I know, it just doesn't make any sense.
So I feel like
not thinking.
If you're a leftist, and I'm not using that in pejorative, you guys got to have a focus group and come together and like figure out your strategy, because obviously that's not the most intelligent thing to do. God almighty.
I really like the one we just listened to, how do you say the Algaroth? You know what I'm talking about.
Thank you, Mosh Master.
One. Oh, thank you. Thank you very much.
The toxic emotional reactionaries exist on every side, on every issue, not just the left. No. I'm not a fan of conservatism either, but the facts are conservatives don't kick people out of restaurants and scream in their face. I mean, they were literally yelling at her going, ah! Like, no, that doesn't happen on the right. But like I said, the right has had years of perfecting their discrimination tactics so that they don't end up in those situations. But, I mean... Like I said, the leftists need to get together and figure it out. Agalok. No, conservatives do not do that to gay people. I'm sorry. They don't yell at them outside of a restaurant. They don't go, ah!
No, in fact, it was the gay people that were yelling at the Christians inside there and telling them to get out of here, and they were going to F Jesus and all kinds of stuff.
Well, yeah. When those guys went to Seattle, they yelled at them and got them out of there.
Yeah.
Look, I'm not picking sides here, but I mean, we've got to talk about tendencies here.
Yeah.
I mean, they're going
Killer
crazy.
Pickle.
Killer Pickle?
Yeah.
Is that my guy?
Hey guys, don't fear, Pickle is here.
The left has what now?
I'm sorry, I need to.
Had years of discrimination too. Dixiecrats, a KKK. Yeah. No, they don't need to jump off a
nobody needs to
cliff.
jump off cliffs.
Because I think the left has some very important points that we need to hear. But when they do shit like that, it what?
I'm sorry, Stephen DeHerrera. He wants us to do the unboxing soon because he wants
soon. It's just that
he wants the criminal to get his.
We're holding little man in what do you call it? Solitary confinement.
He keeps stealing, right, from all the other kids. He was like, "Oh, I saw a package came for me." I was like, "Yeah, we may or may not give it to you." I said I might give it to you and then steal it from you 2 minutes later. He's like, "Oh."
Wait. Look, if you could show me a video of a bunch of conservatives kicking people out of a particular establishment and then yelling and screaming in their face, then I'll criticize that too, for sure.
For sure.
Yeah, like, I don't understand, like, Jamal Charles, like, gay panic defense. What is that? What is gay panic defense? I need to know that.
It's for his time in solitary. I mean, I don't mind calling him in and let him open it.
Ask him. De Herrera, we'll do it for you.
Okay, so you want me to call him in?
Yes. Watch all.
Old bastard. What's that? Johan.
What's up, Pony? What's up, Pony?
Johan.
The left also hate Milo. Yeah, Milo Yiannopoulos, everybody's mad at him. I mean, I don't know. I just think they got to figure it out. They got to figure it out. Okay, so we're going to do an unboxing for the criminal.
Yeah. He was asleep.
Yes, Ben, it actually does.
No.
What's going on,
Let
Pony?
him have his moment.
Yeah, let him have his moment, huh?
No.
Johan is a great name, yes.
I'm gonna cut the package here.
Okay. Where is he? Is he...
I told him to come in, but
Johan!
he was asleep, so... He might have fallen asleep again. Come in for your thing. That's cute. He's asking us if we're going to pray over him. No, here's your gift.
No, we're not going to pray for you.
No.
Come over here. Okay, so look into the camera. Come this way. Mr. Steven got you a gift. Say hi, Mr. Steven.
Hi. Hi, Steven.
Mr. Steven.
Hi, Mr. Steven.
Okay, so he got you a gift. So, there you
I
are.
cut open the back so you can get in there.
Go ahead and open it, sir. What is it? What did he give you? Oh.
Whoa.
Whoa. And he's got a letter in it.
He drew something, too. Here.
What is this? Nobody ever gets me stuff like this.
Hold on, I'll pull it up.
Wait, don't tear it. Look at that.
Whoa! Hold that up so the people can see, too.
Very good.
Oh, look at that. Who's that?
That little character's name is... Do you know who he is?
From Mario, Super Mario. Remember when you guys were playing Mario all the time?
His name is Yoshi.
His name is Yoshi.
Sure.
I'm
yeah,
positive.
look, he's sleeping and he's dreaming about this. Wow, Steven, did you do that?
Did you draw that?
Yeah, okay.
Do you want Dorian to come in and confirm that it's Yoshi?
He
Huh?
No, there's more stuff in here.
There's more stuff in there. Hold on.
Hold on.
Are you going to go get it or what? Go ahead.
Oh, yeah, that's definitely Yoshi.
Oh, what is it?
Pencil?
Oh, looks like it's Jurassic. I can tell this is Jurassic World.
Yep, Jurassic
World.
As if he drew this.
And a car.
Wow.
It's somebody new to Bumblebee. Which is impressive.
Yeah, he loves the colors. He loves yellow.
That's right. You do love
and
yellow.
then he gave you a letter that you can read in your room.
Yeah. He's written something to you.
If you did that, right?
And this is a sketch diary, so you can draw.
You can draw, yeah.
Yep.
Okay. What?
What do you say to the man?
I mean, do you have any manners? Or you're going to just embarrass us? Just look at the camera and thank the man for the stuff.
Thanks. What?
Wow.
Now everybody can see why you're grounded all the time.
Yeah.
That's not that.
Yeah.
What?
It's not that.
What is it?
Very good drawing.
I was already planning on saying it.
Oh, okay. Say what you want to say.
I did.
Oh, okay. Are you camera
Well,
shy?
No. How would you think that?
Okay. Well,
Okay, well,
time for you to go.
somebody's like, I love how
Stay
kids
safe,
are unimpressed with
everybody.
gifts.
Huh?
I said stay safe, everybody.
Stay safe, everybody. Okay.
That's
All right, close the door, please. Later, we're in the middle of something right now.
You don't want to.
He's good, you guys.
Hey, is the stove running?
Not if you're bad.
Hey,
We are making eggs.
go take care of that. Don't leave the stove like that.
We turned it off.
And the house is gonna burn down.
I mean, I can smell burning stuff.
Maybe-
Sayla, close the door, please.
We're gonna have to change our the Patreon thing. Please buy us a new house. Kids burned down the house. God Almighty.
The
house is on fire.
Bermuda Triangle. Seriously, it feels like that here sometimes.
What?
The Bermuda Triangle.
Okay, so somebody asked about the James Dunn thing, Disney.
Steven, that was a really cool drawing.
I know, dude. Did you do that? I didn't get to see that.
Me neither. Tell me again if you did that.
Was that him?
I don't know. I want to know.
People can claim violent temporary insanity if a gay person hits. Are you serious? So if a gay
What?
dude comes to talk to you and you beat the hell out of him, you can claim temporary insanity.
This is when we were on our walk, and I said people shouldn't be allowed to claim insanity on
Right.
stuff. That would go under that category.
Yeah.
I give a little thing for Alex. You know, the tumor situation. What he told. That's different, but there's a physical thing, not a metaphysical. Oh, Cassandra.
Hey, Cassandra.
She says Charlie forgot to put water in her macaroni cup in the microwave, and the whole house was thick smoke. And
He
kids.
did it at work.
Who did it at work?
De Herrera.
He did that at work?
Yeah.
Man, there's some crazy talent up in this place.
Yeah, I know. Every time like one of these people sends something, I'm always like, because being able to draw, because I had such a vivid imagination, that was like
Wow.
always one of the things that I hated that I couldn't do well.
Was
I could
drawing?
never draw well. So I'd have all these like ideas and things that I could never like draw 'em.
We have 3 more packages. Do we want to open them now?
No.
Okay. I always want to just open the gifts because I'm so excited to get them. Besides Vikings, what do we watch? You started something about a jail.
Oz.
But I'm a little, what pickups do you have there? He doesn't have an amp. He doesn't even have all the strings on his guitar. Eventually he'll buy something for himself, I guess, and get it. But I know what's going to happen. I don't want to encourage it too much because we're already so busy, and I think that's going to take up the last bit of time that I could have had with him. I'm going to be like, hey, I'm your wife. Just want to know if you still remember me. Hey. So I don't encourage him too much to get the amp. And I know that's super selfish, but that's where I'm at, guys.
Temporary insanity. No, you don't get to claim temporary insanity if you beat up a gay person for hitting on you. Are you insane? No. That is completely illegitimate. You do not get to do that. It's terrible.
I couldn't either. I learned it in solitary. Oh, really? So maybe Yoshi will learn. Y'all need to watch Breaking Bad. Daredevil on Netflix. Didn't we start that? But what happened?
I don't know. Gay panic defense. There it is right there. How many states, KZ, is that legal to do that shit in?
I cannot believe that that's legal.
Or not legal, but like a legal defense or whatever.
That's crazy to me. Honestly, temporary insanity in general is a ridiculous concept in my opinion. I agree with you, Richard. That's what I was saying. I'm like, no. No, I don't think that anybody should be able to claim that. Oh yeah, Ultimate Musing. We loved Game of Thrones. We watched the whole thing until we got to the end. We really like that. I honestly don't like stuff that has a lot of violence in it. If there's a good story, then I can like deal with the violence. Like Vikings started to get progressively more violent, but it had such a great story that I overlooked it because I wanted to hear the story.
That's crazy. Wow. Alex had people grab his junk and then act like you were wrong when pushing it away. Yeah, that's crazy too.
What? Ivor the Boneless. Yeah.
That's my guy.
Perfect. Sex is okay, but violence isn't. No, I don't encourage people to to engage in watching either of those things, but I think it depends on, I could be wrong, but I think it depends on what your weaknesses are, I guess. I actually forgot that there was that there was a lot of sex in Game of Thrones.
Yeah, I've heard there is.
Yeah, I forgot that there was. I remembered there being violence, but oh, I think so too.
What?
Claiming insanity will be severely abused. Like, yeah, everybody can say that. You could just do some horrible thing and then say, "Oh, I was temporarily insane." No, that's fine, Pony. We don't care if we're added to that alliance thing.
Yeah, I mean, I think we're all pretty much calibrated on that. Somebody call me up if you have an issue with Jordan Peterson. But I need to know. I need like exact references, though. Don't say I don't like him because he's whatever.
Aw, Jay, I want you guys to know I seriously, from my heart, love you guys, and I got you and your families back with anything that I can do.
Aw.
That's really sweet,
Thank you.
Jay.
I appreciate it. I don't think anybody who kills anybody is in like a perfect state of lucidity. I think everybody who kills somebody is temporarily insane.
Yeah, that's what you said.
That shouldn't give you a...
Thank you, Anthony.
That shouldn't give you anything.
What do y'all think of hunting? I honestly don't have a problem with hunting if people are going to actually, eat the meat and use everything up. Which is weird, but I don't like fishing unless you're going to actually eat that too. But I don't like fishing and then just throwing it back in after you've ripped its throat out. Dan, what the heck? Dan's like, I don't like Jordan Peterson because he's Canadian. Canadian.
At what point do the negative experiences in your life become a valid reason to justify your equally negative actions? Yeah. Yeah, I'm not a very big fan of the insanity play. I have lots of problems with Peterson. That's a long discussion. Jordan Peterson was like, I couldn't believe that anybody didn't like him. I was like, what? How could somebody not like him? Spread some atheist love, okay? Hello, atheists. We love you.
Mark Ultimate Musing wants to know if anyone in if anybody likes the music in Game of Thrones and if they live in Massachusetts or Connecticut. What conspiracy theories do we believe? I don't think we went to the moon. I have severe doubts. Very strong doubts about that. We're on Do Not Disturb on Skype.
Oh, crap. Okay.
Wow, how did you
Who is
know
it?
that?
Because BM fan, he's probably trying to talk to
Yeah,
us.
but does it say that we're on Do Not Disturb, or he just knows because we're
I
trying to
will
call?
personally take you off of Do Not Disturb.
BM fam. Tell me how you knew. Did it say it on your end?
What?
Somebody
it
said you're
said-
so freaking precious when you smile.
Who?
Who is? I don't know.
It's not
It was
me.
just cute.
It's not me. It's always you. You're the precious one. Nobody loves me. Except for my buddy. My new buddy. Other than that, nobody likes me. Okay. It's open now. Yeah, but hey, I got my new buddy. He'll be done his job in about 20 minutes. So I'll be good to go.
Everybody's always like, what? They can't believe I don't believe about the moon landing.
Yeah. Well, I need somebody to call us up and prove empirically that we went to the moon.
Yeah, she was homeschooled. I hate you both equally. Aw, Ben. Aw, we love you. We're gonna.
Finn, you're
take
looking
a
hot
dinner with you.
tonight. Thank you, Tyler. I
Wow.
appreciate you.
He is. Alex, I love your legs that don't exist. Jason said you're hot. Drew said he loves you. Matthew says he loves you. They want to see your guitar. Can you hold it up?
No, it's not a real guitar. All right, we have our first contestant. Hello. Hello.
Hello?
What's up?
What's up? This is BM Fan again.
What's going on, BM fan?
Hey, how did you know that it was on Do Not Disturb? Does it say it on your end, or you were calling?
Yeah, it had the red icon or whatever, and it says "Do Not Disturb" on it.
Oh, okay, cool.
Alrighty, so God, there are so many topics. Since you were last talking about Peterson, I'll admit I'm not the most knowledgeable on Peterson, but from what I have seen, I can obviously see the issues with him, particularly when he talks about politics. I have no issue with him talking about his Jungian psychology. That is what it is. But when he starts trying to apply these things to actual politics, and he starts throwing out phrases like postmodern neo-Marxist, which is basically utterly nonsensical, that's when we start having issues.
Well, why do you have an issue with the term postmodern neo-Marxist? Do you think that all these people on the left, do you think that they're all internally consistent with themselves?
I mean, Marxism it's not compatible with postmodernism.
No, but that's why I asked that question. Do you believe that all of these folks on the left, that they're completely consistent with themselves?
In what manner?
Well, I understand the inconsistencies between postmodernism and Marxism. But for example, yesterday, I had a guy on and he said that there were no absolutes. Like I had a guy on and he claimed that he lived a certain type of lifestyle, but then upon further investigation, there are certain things that he did that were completely diametrically opposed to that lifestyle.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, something like that, I would argue, is based on a presupposition.
Something like what?
Like a notion obviously, in order to say that there is no absolutes, you would have to imply that there not being absolutes is an aspect of absoluteness or whatever. But I mean, I think you could argue that that's kind of like more of a presupposition or an axiom that you base your worldview on. So it kind of like leaps over the circular aspect of it.
So you don't think there are any postmodernist Marxists in the world?
I mean, if they're a true Marxist, probably not.
Well, that's my point, is that I think you're criticizing Peterson from an idealistic perspective in the sense that, yes, if you just look at the technical definitions of those terms, they're diametrically opposed to each other, but the people that are foisting, at least the people that are camping out on the left-wing side, like for me, for example...
I mean, here's the thing, though. Do you think these people are all reading Like Foucault?
No, I don't. And that's my point. I don't think so. Like, for example, when I criticize atheists and they've never read Bertrand Russell, Voltaire, or Nietzsche. I had an atheist tell me yesterday that Voltaire and Nietzsche have nothing whatsoever to do with atheism on any level.
I mean, how can I put this? To me, at least, with regards to something like atheism is just outright not believing in something. Not believing in God. I can understand how you can say, well, you should understand the early atheists and whatnot, and understand their worldview a little more and whatnot. But I think anyone can really just say that I'm an agnostic atheist or something like that without having, read those thinkers.
That's fine, BM. But this person told me that Voltaire and Russell and Nietzsche do not speak to atheism on any level. That's what they told me yesterday. So, I mean, I think you're assuming that people that hold to positions hold to them as rigorously as you do. And I don't think that that's the case at all. So when Peterson says postmodern Marxist, yeah, it's inconsistent. But isn't that Peterson basically like low-key dissing people that hold to that position because they don't even realize how inherently contradictory their worldview is?
I guess you could argue that. I think the other issue, though, is that it sounds very much like a conspiracy theory.
How so? The Marxist part?
I assume you're familiar with cultural Bolshevism.
Yes.
Okay, and the cultural Marxism of the popular scare buzzword of the right today, which kind of just echoes back to Peterson's postmodern neo-Marxists.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, I'm not saying Peterson is like anti-Semitic or anything, but obviously that's kind of the root word of all of that kind of notion. I'm not saying his postmodern neo-Marxism is cultural Marxism, but it's really, really kind of similar sounding.
Okay, I'll give you that. I agree with that. I think you're right on that. I think he's careless when he uses that terminology. I don't think he's anti-Semitic. I do think he's careless, though.
Though it did take him a long time to actually come out about that.
Yeah.
Like there are videos of like his supporters kind of basically trying to get him to talk about the Jewish question, and he's just like, yeah, I just can't talk about it.
Yeah. Okay. So that's your problem with Peterson.
Well, also comparing humans to lobsters. That's kind of another aspect to it.
Well,
like you can't look at hierarchies in lobsters and compare it to humans.
But what was the point he was trying to make about the lobsters?
Oh God, I don't even remember.
Well, see, this is the thing that gets me about people that criticize Peterson. It's like, oh, you can't. I mean, it's an analogy. It's not a one-to-one correlation. He's just like. Let me ask you a question. Do you believe that human beings can function without hierarchy?
Yeah.
Okay, give me an example of when that's happened in human history.
Well, I mean, we've had like I mentioned last time, like anarchist Catalonia and stuff. Like we have had anarchist kind of societies.
Where?
As mentioned, anarchist Catalonia.
How long?
Another example would be.
Hold on, no. Hold on. Stay with me.
Yep.
Anarchist Catalonia. Where is that?
That was in Catalonia, which is not Spain. Just Catalonia is Catalonia during the Spanish Civil War.
Okay, how long did that last?
2 years before the fascists and the Republicans smashed them.
Okay, and why did they smash them?
Because the Catalonians were obviously breaking apart from the Republicans in Spain, and obviously the fascists also did not like them, so they basically had to fight off like multiple different fronts, and they couldn't survive it.
How were they able to fight? Did they organize a military?
Yeah.
Are you saying that they had a military that had no hierarchy? Everybody was just out on the battlefield doing their own thing.
It's actually a good question. I'm not entirely sure how their military was set up.
I would bet you my firstborn that they had some sort of hierarchy. It's impossible to fight otherwise. Believe me, I know. Because
Tyler Cataloni was anarcho-syndicalist.
yeah, but I mean, look, you just said that they had to go fight, and if they had to fight, that means there was a military, and that means that that there had to be some sort of structure to it.
I mean, obviously, like, there's some degree of it, but the reality is that the hierarchies don't necessarily have to be in such a what's the word? A negative way, I guess, that we kind of view them today.
Well, I don't view hierarchy as negative. I view it as natural. I don't view hierarchy as a negative thing.
Okay, I would disagree with that. I don't think it is natural.
Well, then how comes human civilization always defaults to it if it's not natural? I mean, you presented one hierarchy-less society, which I'm very skeptical of, and they disintegrated after 2 years.
Well, I mean, they disintegrated specifically because of aggression from opposing forces.
My brother, there will always be aggression from opposing forces in the world. That's why every nation in the world has a military. Right?
Yeah.
Okay, and that's one of the reasons that hierarchy is necessary, because of human aggression.
I mean, that's irrelevant from hierarchy, though.
What do you mean it's irrelevant from hierarchy?
So, like, yeah, they had a military, except they basically had the entire, world against them.
They didn't have the entire world against them. It was just
I'm saying they had the entire world. They basically had everything surrounding them was against them.
yeah, and they couldn't
They had
organize.
the actual Republicans, they had the fascists, and they also had the Stalinists.
Yeah, and they couldn't organize to defend themselves, could they?
No, they weren't defending. They were defending very, very well.
Okay, so you're saying that they organized the military and there was no hierarchy in the military.
I mean, I don't have an actual source on their military, but
Like
society itself was not hierarchical.
Take a guess. Do you think they had a hierarchy-less military?
I mean, do you want me to, Google this?
No, I just want you to tell me from your just guess. You think they're out there on the front lines just doing whatever they wanted to do? There's nobody training them, commanding them, telling them where to go, what was the best strategy and all that?
That may have been happening, but I don't necessarily think that person was viewed particularly, specially.
Okay, so explaining. Okay, so this is interesting to me. You're saying hierarchy is unnatural. Then why does it show up in every human society aside from those, which is the exception that proves the rule?
Well, how about... Because, we're technically also just talking about philosophy here. How do you feel about people like Rousseau?
Well, it depends on which version of Rousseau you're talking about.
Rousseau's general will.
I feel you're setting me up for to circle back to your hierarchy question. Is that what you're doing? Tell the truth.
I'm basically saying...
I can hear it in your voice, BM.
Views of nature, or the state of nature, you can have individuals like Rousseau who viewed the state of nature as being a very, good, kind location, wherein you could have total democracy and non-hierarchical general will that would kind of determine the shape of society. Or you have people like Hobbes or whatever who view the state of nature as nasty, brutish, and short.
Well, let's stay with Rousseau for a second.
Sure.
Here's the thing that gets me about philosophers sometimes. Sometimes I feel like they're so stuck in their ivory tower that it doesn't take into account actual human nature. Like, are you more Rousseau than Hobbes in your assumptions about human nature?
Honestly, it depends on kind of the day. Sometimes I'm like, you know what, Hobbes is right. Humans are shit. And then other times I'm like, no, we can do better. It really depends.
Okay. So then So you're actually saying that you believe that not having hierarchy is the most natural state of human existence. So, like, if I've got 3 kids, we should all have equal say about what goes down in the house. 4 kids. Father of the year, ladies and gentlemen. We should all have equal say about what goes on in the house.
Well, with regards to, like, a family, that's a good question. Because I'd have to actually think about it from like, if I was, like, a parent, how I would actually raise my kids.
Well, I guarantee you, my brother, you would be initiating that hierarchy with the quickness. Because you know what's going to happen? Little Susie, as cute as she is, when she goes into Walmart, she's going to take that chocolate bar. And you got to tell her that she can't steal shit, right?
Yeah.
You got to impose your will on her, don't you? And who are you to do that?
I mean,
let's just be real. I want a philosophy that works in terra firma, BM. You're a much more intelligent man than me, but just work with me.
trust me, I am not very intelligent.
Well, then I'm out of luck then, because you're light years ahead of me. But I'm serious. You're gonna let her go into Walmart and take whatever she wants?
I mean, obviously no. Okay, let me rephrase this. I think that humans, if not that hierarchy is non-natural, then I think we should at least strive towards non-hierarchy.
See, this is okay. So here's the thing for me is that my presupposition is that the family is a building block for a given society. It's been that way for the majority of human history. The societies are simply collections of families. Okay, well, if that's the case, and hierarchy is absolutely obvious and natural in a family unit.
I mean, I'm still not going to say hierarchy is natural.
Well, I'm talking about in the real world. You just said that you would impose your value system on your child.
Sure.
Okay, that's a form of hierarchy, isn't it? If Susie says, "Why should I listen to you, Dad?" You're going to say what? Because I'm your father, which is inherently a hierarchical and, unfortunately for you, patriarchal answer, isn't it?
Sure.
Okay. And let me be more provocative. If you didn't impose your value system on your little child, you would be a bad parent, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I suppose.
Well, when we say so-and-so spoils their children, what are we saying?
Yeah, in that case, it would be something like that. Yeah, I can see it there.
Okay, so now watch the syllogism. The family is the building block of society. Families are inherently hierarchical if they're good families. Therefore, hierarchy is the most natural state of a given society.
Sure, we'll go with that.
Okay. So then what are you mad at Peterson for?
I think it largely comes down to, like I mentioned before, I think looking back to these traditional concepts is a bad thing. Or at least to the degree that Peterson kind of wants to do them.
What do you mean by that? Well, let me ask this. Define traditional for me.
Traditional. I guess traditional would be views like...
Are you saying Peterson's Judeo-Christian traditional hierarchy is unhealthy? Is that what you're saying?
Aspects of it, certainly.
Okay.
Certain it's like, I don't know, I'm just like looking at aspects of Peterson. So like Peterson obviously really, Peterson came to prominence because of C16, yeah?
Yep.
Like, Peterson's issue with C16 to me is absolutely nonsensical. Like, for Peterson, his idea was like, oh, I'm not gonna refer to these trans people as the pronouns that they want to be referred to as. and that just seems
That
really
wasn't
rude to me.
that wasn't his argument at all.
And what was his argument then?
Because he's explicitly stated that he has trans students and he refers to them by their preferred pronouns.
Okay.
What he was bothered by, and some of this has to do with his obsession with Solzhenitsyn and everything that went down in the USSR and Nietzsche to some degree. What he was bothered by was when the government starts compelling speech, that it would lead to a 1984 type society, and that's what he was.
With regards to that, how do you feel about protected classes?
Well,
Do you think protected classes are a bad thing or a good thing?
it depends on how it's worked out in a given society.
Well, all that this bill would do would put gender identity as a protected class in Canada.
No, it was compelling speech. That's not the same thing.
It classified it as a protected class. Therefore, by insulting this protected class in a harassing manner, then obviously the government would be able to do something. Because at that point you were, you were attacking the class.
No, because what they're saying is if you don't refer to this person by their preferred gender, that's a form of positive attack. Which is tantamount to the government compelling speech. So for me as a black person in America, there is nothing that you're supposed to call me. Like, I can't put you in jail for calling me black instead of an African American. I mean, subhanAllah, I've got people up in Maine who are still saying that I'm colored, but they can't go to jail for it, and they shouldn't. The government can't compel people to call me an African American. That's the problem. And when the government has the power to compel speech, that's an overreach, because then it opens the door for the government to do a whole bunch of shit. And in Peterson's mind, the only way to ascertain the truth is to speak it out loud and then have it tested by your given society. And so when the government starts dealing with out loud speech and telling you that you have to use a certain type of speech, it's a form of mind control. And that's what Peterson's against. You don't see that as valid at all? You think the government should be able to compel people's speech?
The bill is intended to protect individuals from discrimination within the sphere of federal jurisdiction and from being the targets of hate propaganda.
Okay, who defines what hate propaganda is?
The government in this case, I suppose.
Okay, so if the government determines that misgendering a person is hate propaganda, that's how is that different from compelling speech?
Hang on, I'm just reading some here. Evidence that an offense was motivated by bias, prejudice, or hate based on a person's gender identity or expression constitutes an aggravated circumstance for a court to consider.
Who determines that? You know the irony in all of this?
The government.
You know the irony in all this? On the one hand, you were just arguing against hierarchy and the abuse of hierarchy, but then on the other hand, you're completely comfortable with the government telling people what they can and can't say, and the government defining what hate is and what it isn't.
I mean, I'm not an anarchist, but even in an anarchist society, you can still do this kind of stuff, because in that case, it would be more of a general will.
Yeah, but the government, I don't trust the government to define what hate is and what type of speech is and what propaganda is. I would rather the people of a given culture being able to figure that out collectively as a consensus. That's not the job of the government to do that. We've seen in history when the government starts getting their hands in what people can and can't say, that's the first step to absolute tyranny.
Well, I mean, we kind of already deal in that, don't we?
What do you mean?
Let me think. Oh, wait, no, I'm thinking more of.
Hold on for a second,
action.
Lilo. He read the bill to me. What are you talking about? You were just reading it, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
The summary.
So it's read. It's been read. So we don't need to go there, Lilo. What I'm saying is, it's not the government's role to define what hate propaganda is and what hate speech is, and then tell me what I have to say to a given person. Now, I had a 2-hour discussion with a trans person in our village, and I'm not going to go. I believe morally it's my job to do whatever I can to take care of my neighbors. And so if it's going to cause somebody severe pain and suffering to misgender them, I'm going to do my damnedest to make sure that I address them in a way that's good for their soul. But it's not for the government to tell me to do that. Mm-hmm. That's the issue.
I would disagree with that, at least.
Well, so as a black person, how would you address me?
As a black person, I guess.
Oh shit, man! You're supposed to call me an African American. You're gonna have some you want to go there?
I mean,
you want to go there?
That's really different.
What do you mean it's really different?
Because not every black person is an African American.
So, you're obscuring the point. What I'm saying is, I'm come from a minority group that has suffered way more than the trans community has in the United States of America, right?
Sure.
Okay, so then, should I legislate how all black people in the country should be identified? And then, on pain of losing your job or a heavy fine or even possibly jail time because it's quote-unquote hateful. Do you actually want to go there? And why does it stop at trans people and black people? Why not white people? Why can't white people have those protections?
Well, I mean, technically, white people do have those protections.
What? What are the hate speech laws that protect white people?
Well, no, race is a protected class, period.
Okay, but I'm talking about a law analogous to this that will land you in jail for fucking with a white person.
It's there. Race is a protected class.
No, I'm asking you for a specific law that's analogous to this that will land you in prison for misracing a white person, for example.
I mean, I'm not seeing it.
Well, you're not seeing it because it doesn't exist. It's inconsistent. That's what I'm saying. BM.
No, I'm trying to connect the dots that you're doing, and it seems I just seems reductio ad absurdum.
Yes, it is reductio ad absurdum. That's my point. That's the whole point of reductio ad absurdum, is to show how absurd the other position is. You look. I think, I've talked to trans people. I think they're big enough to be able to handle the random jerk that will purposely do dumb shit to them. For example, okay, so let's expand this. I had a vegetarian on the line, right? And all these people started making all these meat-eating jokes. Well, that person interprets that action as hateful. Mm-hmm. They do. And the law, wasn't the law, correct me if I'm wrong, BM, wasn't the law that you just read leaving it up to the government to determine the motive of the person?
I believe so, yeah.
Read it again.
Where the hell did it go?
Ben said, "This is weird, but I actually agree with Vin."
Evidence that an offense was motivated by bias, prejudice, or hate based on a person's gender identity or expression constitutes an aggravated circumstance for a court to consider when imposing a criminal sentence.
Motivated. So now the government is in some sort of divine position as to understanding what my motives are when I speak. You don't see the problem there?
I mean, this would be in a court, although, so you would still be tried by your peers.
What the hell does that have to do with anything? They're gonna define what my motives were. So what if I say no, my motives weren't hateful at all?
Well, I mean,
who are they to tell me what my motives were?
I mean, that's just an aspect of our judicial system now.
Hey, look.
You could say like I didn't actually kill some. What's the difference between manslaughter and murder? Isn't it motive?
Well, if you can establish a mens rea, that's not the same thing as a motive behind a person's speech. Because if I can show that I hired a hitman, that clearly demonstrates beyond a shadow of a doubt what my intent was. But that's not the same thing as misgendering a person. That's apples and oranges, my friend.
I mean, it is, but also you got to keep in mind, it isn't just a matter of misgendering someone. It's harassing them repeatedly.
There is way too much language in there that gives the government way too much power to police my speech and dig into my motives, my psychology, to make a judgment about me. And initially, I thought Peterson was overreaching a little bit, to be honest with you. But now that I actually hear the language, I'm surprised that he's the only one that went off on this thing. Because this is madness. This is statism. Are you a statist?
I mean...
Okay, now it all makes sense.
Possibly? Yeah, sure.
Yeah, okay, now... So why the hell are you upset about Peterson being a hierarchicalist, but you're a statist at the same time? Don't you see the contradiction there?
I mean, okay, let's look at things from this perspective. Obviously, I think if society could move towards non-hierarchical things, that would be great. Is it going to happen? Probably not. So I would favor gradual moves towards other things.
Which just means that you're a statist because you don't trust the general populace. I mean, isn't that what you just said?
No, I think it's more that people they're not ready for it, so to speak. Like, we can't just dismantle this society and become anarcho-communists. That's not going to happen.
Bless God.
That's even less likely than the ANCAPs instituting anarcho-capitalism. Like, it's just absurdity.
Look, if you start controlling speech, you're controlling minds. Somebody said that in the chat. That's not mine. That's somebody else. But if you control speech, you're controlling minds, because speech is simply the outgrowth of what happens in a mind. Look, somebody gets on here and calls me a nigger or something. Like, for example, we had a guy named White Power Mother Effer. That was his name, right?
That was a thing.
Yeah, that was his name, White Power. Like, so what am I supposed to do? Am I supposed to like completely ban the guy from my channel? You know what I did? I brought him up here and I let him spew his bullshit, right? Because I'm fully convinced that if somebody has a bad thought process, what we want them to do is express it as loud as they possibly can so that everybody can see that it's a bad thought process. I'm not going to go and censor the guy. I want him to speak. Those are the people that you want to speak so that you can shoot it down. It's only the fascists that limit people's speech. It's like Hitler. He wouldn't countenance any disagreement with him. Now, that conversation with that kid turned into it went in a completely different direction, right? I don't know if you were there when we had that conversation. Do you remember that one?
I was in the chat.
Yeah, I mean, you don't see any danger at all to this. You don't see this type of legislation going completely wrong.
I personally don't. I just don't.
Okay. I mean, have you read much on the USSR?
I honestly, to imply that this will result in the USSR or Stalinism, I just no.
Okay. I mean, look, do you think...
I think we're much more likely to go into Nazi Germany with someone like Trump right now.
That's ridiculous.
Than we are going to the USSR.
Nazi Germany. Yeah, look, they are taking anybody that's aligned with Trump. Do you see what happens to kids that are wearing MAGA hats in restaurants?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're getting kicked out.
Yeah, they get kicked out. They get yelled and screamed on. You have people in our government that are getting booted out of restaurants.
But do you understand why that's happening?
hold on for a second. The analogy between that and Nazi Germany is absolutely ridiculous. No way. I'm sorry, but right now we're much more closer to the USSR than we are to Nazi Germany. Hand over fist. It's not
The case with things like that is that these are individuals who are generally viewed as intolerant individuals, and you cannot tolerate intolerance in a tolerant society. It's a paradox, I'm aware, but
it's a contradiction.
It's reality.
It's a contradiction.
Yeah.
And you know what it is, bro? Is it appears to me, and when I say leftists, I'm not talking about you, because obviously we wouldn't be having this conversation if what I'm about to say is true. But these people who are yelling and screaming and not actually engaging in intellectual conversation and say things like, we're not going to give hateful people or intolerant people a platform, they're doing that because they're not confident that they have enough argumentation in order to win a battle in the public square.
I mean, the issue with something like that is generally, historically speaking, liberals side with fascists.
It's true.
So it's incredibly difficult to argue against a fascist because they will retreat to free speech. Like they will retreat to free speech and they will hug it and they'll hold it like in a boxing match or whatever when they just grab onto the other person. Like they will just hug it despite the fact that all they really, really want is to just destroy that free speech. They absolutely detest free speech, but they'll cling to it because it's the only thing that protects them and will get liberals on their side.
Okay. So that's what's happening in our country. It's the left is the side that's trying to silence as much speech as possible. It's not the right.
I mean, because the right speech basically wants massive intolerance.
That's insane.
So, for instance, okay, let's look at, say, Richard Spencer.
Yeah?
Are you familiar with Richard Spencer?
Yeah?
Okay. What do you think happened to unite the right?
What do you mean, what do I think happened to unite the right?
Okay, so you had Unite the Right happened, and there was that massive fascist party and everything, and then the guy memed his car into that woman.
Whoa. Did you see the video?
Where James Fields drove his car into the crowd?
Did you see the video? He didn't drive his car into the crowd. His car was surrounded by the crowd, and people were yelling and screaming at him. Now, I'm not defending this guy, but the facts are, to speak about it as if he's just some random skinhead who drove into a group of innocent people isn't with the facts. The facts are he was surrounded by a bunch of people, and in his defense, his lawyer is saying it was a case of panic and self-defense. Now, I'm not saying I can't judge what's going on there because we're not in the case, but don't act like it was just some regular dude who just ran into a bunch of people on purpose. That's not what happened.
I guess we'll see what happens with the case in that case. But either way...
Well, there's video.
Watch the video.
Watch the video, my guy.
We'll see what the case has to say, I guess.
Okay.
But either way, so after all of that happened, and AntiFa started doing a lot more of their activities, we now have, a year later, they had Unite the Right 2. And did you see how many people attended Unite the Right 2?
I'm sure it was much smaller.
There was about 28, I think.
Okay.
The large reason for far less of them showing up was because they did not want to be associated. They did not want to lose their job by coming out. They did not want to be doxxed. They did not want all these things to happen to them.
Yeah.
Because groups like AntiFa have significantly raised the social cost of being a Nazi.
Whoa. Groups like I cannot believe that you're acting like that's a good thing. Like Antifa is a force for good in the United States of America?
100%.
Have you heard what Antifa has said about our own Constitution?
Antifa is just a group of lots and lots of people. There's no leader of Antifa.
Oh, here we go. Look,
I mean, maybe if you want to source me like some Antifa Twitter or something that's probably run by like Russians or something, I mean, you could do that.
Okay, so this is more Trumpism. So anything that you don't want to hear is fake news.
No, like for instance, recently, quote unquote, Denver Antifa posted a video of a bunch of people saying like, "Yeah, we're training to fight Nazis" or whatever, and the photo was like some Finnish youth group. Like,
No.
it's well known that there are fake Antifa Twitters and whatnot made by right wingers.
Yeah,
That's really well known.
It's also well known that there's a very violent strain to Antifa and a very anti-American, anti-Constitution, pro-communist strain to Antifa as well.
Well, yeah, Antifa is made of anarchists and communists. That's what the flag is.
Okay, and they've been violent. They've enacted violence in our culture. Are you okay?
They enact violence against fascists. That's what they do.
Okay, so who determines, objectively speaking, who the fascists are that Antifa gets to physically assault?
The people supporting the fascists. The people acting like fascists.
So then if a person says anybody who's against Donald Trump is a fascist, and we now have green light to go and physically assault them, that's okay?
You're not understanding.
No.
These kind of questions aren't that simple.
No. What you're trying to say...
Just because I say X is a fascist doesn't mean that X is a fascist.
So what you're saying is you don't believe that people have the right to free speech without the threat of violence if it qualifies as quote-unquote fascist in your mind. Is that what you're saying?
Say that one more time.
People don't have the right to free speech without the threat of violence if it qualifies as quote-unquote fascistic in your mind. Is that what you're saying?
If the person is preaching anti-Semitism and is screaming things like, what was one line that one of the guys screamed? He said the first precept of the true alt-right is gas the kikes, race war now. If someone's saying things like that, that's a fascist.
So then you instead of saying let's defeat them in the public square with our words, you're saying they have the right to physically assault them, is what you're saying.
As I told you, you generally can't really beat fascists in the public square because liberals will side with them.
So because you can't beat them, we should beat them. Like, how badly should we kill them?
You basically beat them until they cannot. As I mentioned, you raise the social cost.
Yeah, but let's say the social cost is your life. Then instead of 28 people, you'll have 2 people. Is that better?
I mean, generally speaking, Antifa tends to not kill people. Right-wingers do the killing.
No. Right-wingers right now aren't going around in hit squads and physically assaulting people.
Do you want me to, like,
That's
source you the Southern Poverty Law Center's list of, like, hate crimes?
Antifa is organized. You've got an organized group of people who are stalking people that they determine to be fascist. All I want to know is it okay if Antifa kills people? If that will make it so that the next Unite the Right march has only 2 people?
I mean, killing is probably a bad thing.
Probably a bad thing. Are you hearing yourself right now?
Killing is generally a bad thing, sure.
Wow. You are an absolute statist. Listen, bro. You're an absolute statist, and I don't... Have you ever been outside of the United States?
Yeah. I visited London and France once.
Okay, so you've never been outside of a country that's outside of Western influence. Like you've never been to these.
Sure.
You've never been into these post-USSR European states, have you?
No.
So you don't know what it's like. You know, all these Antifa. I'm not saying you're one of them, but there's all these kids in Antifa running around talking about Chairman Mao and all this shit, who have no fucking clue what communism is really about.
I know some Antifa individuals. None of them are Maoists. podcasts. Are you talking about like Jason Unruh?
No, what I'm talking about is
That guy's a really crazy guy.
here's what I'm talking about. It's a bunch of kids who were born and raised in America, most of whom have no fucking clue about the world outside of their little bubble in America, who are self-righteously taking up the cause of violence because they don't have the intellectual rigor to be able to confront somebody in the public square and debate their topics accurately. And because they feel that they're more intelligent than the rest of the American community, they feel that it's on them to go and physically assault other Americans, thereby stealing their right of free speech away from them, because the rest of us are too dumb to be able to see that racism and fascism is a bad thing. That's Antifa. Those are the people you're supporting.
I mean, if you really want to put it that way, sure. I mean, like I said, my general thought is anyone who's legit supporting fascist ideas generally deserves no platform.
And you believe, and you don't see that the threat of violence that you just justified against speech, you don't see that as a form of fascism itself.
Absolutely not, because there's nothing racist about it. There's nothing nationalist about it.
It's idealist. You're an idealist. And the IST meaning the discrimination side of it. And here's the problem with people like you. And when I mean people like you, I here's what I mean. You're the intellectual side of these people. But the facts are, people like that in those movements, you're the minority. And who gets to decide what the line is between which fascists you get to assault? Like, who decides that?
I mean, it's generally not, how can I put it this way? It's generally not really decided. It's kind of just if it's happening or not.
Oh, yeah, but if somebody has to determine what it is. When you say when it is happening, somebody has to know when it is. When is it? When is fascism happening? When is somebody vocalizing hate speech where we need to attack them? And is there a canonical definition for that in people in that crew? There isn't, is there? So then I can be part of Antifa and just feel like a dude walking around with a MAGA hat as a fascist, even if he doesn't do anything, and I can physically assault him, and that's okay.
I mean, I would say no.
But there's no leader in Antifa, so who are you to tell me what to do? Right? So you would say no, and that's your opinion. You don't attack him, but I say yes.
That's not how it works, though.
Huh?
That's just not how it works, though.
How do you know how it works? Is there some Antifa guidebook that you can show us that tells what people we can assault and which people we can't?
I mean, generally what Antifa does is, like I said, they just try to raise the social cost.
Yeah, how is that different from what I just said?
So, let's say...
Do you believe that Trump represents fascism?
I think he has a lot of fascist supporters.
Okay. Do you believe that Make America Great Again is a dog whistle to racist fascists?
To some of them, yeah.
Okay. So then there's no real epistemic warrant for you to say that if I wanted to attack or physically assault a person with a MAGA hat.
I mean, the reality is that just because someone has the MAGA hat on doesn't necessarily mean that they, quite understand what they're dealing with, I suppose.
Well, I need to raise the social costs for the people that do. So whether or not this person knows what they're doing, if it's on camera that I'm fucking somebody up that's wearing the MAGA hat, I just raise the social cost, right?
I mean, I see where you're going with it. It just doesn't really happen.
What do you? What I'm saying is, and you just admitted, there's no way for you, even from your own perspective, to say that I can't do that, is there? Because if it's about using violence to raise the social cost for having the wrong ideology, then that accomplishes that goal, doesn't it? right?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll let you have the last word. This is some terrifying shit. And look. Here's the thing. I don't agree. I'm very, very concerned with what's happening with the right wing of America. And the reason I'm concerned is because of Antifa. Because you make people almost impossible to reason with when you start using violence. Because here's the thing. These people on the right wing, they're all packing weapons. They all have guns. And there's nothing more dangerous than the human ego. You think that these kids, these little 16, 17-year-old kids are going to be able to physical assault? You think like if they came to my hood and did some shit like that, they'd be able to get out of there alive? These kids are going to mess with the...
Yes or no?
You're going to mess with...
It depends.
You're going to mess with the wrong redneck, and they're going to blow you away on national TV. And then what's going to happen is people are going to start applying your principle in reverse and start raising the cost of hanging out with Antifa. And there's much more of them than there is of punk kids in Antifa, believe me. Because here's the thing. You got a guy like me, right, who obviously has a vested interest in minimizing racism in the United States of America. I sent my 12-year-old to go get pizza one time on his bike, and I was scared to death that he was going to have a run-in with some police officer. Now, whether that's rational or irrational, my point is, I was scared until I got the text that he was back home safe. So, I have a much more vested interest in making sure that racism is out of our country than you do by spades, my man. Believe me, I've got a lot more to lose. But when you start talking about physically assaulting people because they're vocalizing ideology or their ideas, you cross the line. That is crossing the line. That's completely anti-American and completely a state. And so it's crazy to me that you were like mocking, oh, we're nowhere near the USSR. And then you talk about justifying violence against speech. And you don't see the correlation there at all?
I mean, the argument here would be that these are individuals whose speech itself is capable of inciting violence.
Yeah, there's inciting violence and there's actual violence. And you guys are committing actual violence.
But also inciting, if your speech incites violence, then that doesn't fall under free speech.
Well, look, most of these people are saying that we need to care about white people and white people have been left behind and all the rest of it. You can hardly...
Do you think Gas the Kike's race war now is insightful to hateful speech?
No, I don't. No, I think that that's hateful speech, but I think that if a person says that publicly, for example, you talked about doxing. I don't have a problem with that. If you're gonna walk around doing the Hitler thing, then we need to know who you are. And then let the community handle that person. That's what doxing is. It's like, oh shit, you're a Nazi? You're not going to represent our company? Get the fuck out of here. That's how America's supposed to operate, not the government.
That is how Antifa also operates, though.
Okay, that I don't care about. What I care about is you justifying people physically assaulting other human beings. That's my problem. That's not for you to do. That's fascism.
I really do not see that as being fascism.
Okay. Well, you need to read it.
Is a thing.
You need to read about the USSR, and you need to travel to post-communist countries, and you describe to them what you're talking about, and see what they tell you. Have you read any Solzhenitsyn?
I mean, you could argue that it's in a way authoritarian or whatever, but it's not fascism.
Have you read any Solzhenitsyn?
No.
Okay, my friend, the fascists didn't start out sending people to the gulags immediately. That's not how it started. It's not how it started. You should do some more historical research, because the shit that all these kids are caught up in, you know, rocking all this shit about Che Guevara and all this other shit, they have no idea what they're doing. They've been born and raised in America. They have no idea what the world is about at all. If you've been to London, I'm sorry, you don't know what the world is about. This is madness. What you're talking about is absolute madness.
I tell you what, I will read. Give me a specific book.
The Gulag Archipelago.
Okay.
Alexander-
I will suggest you another book.
Alexander Solzhenitsyn. What am I reading?
I would like you to read Dialectic of Enlightenment.
Dialectic. Okay. Can you
I'll
write that down?
Text it to you.
Who's the author?
I believe it's Theodore Adorno, a cultural Marxist, actually.
Okay. All right.
Here, type it, because...
Hold on. Do it again. Dialectic of what?
Enlightenment. It's, what is it? Max Horkheimer and Theodore Adorno.
All right. I promise you, I'm going to go dig into that.
Okay.
All right, my man. I'll let you have the last word.
I mean, like I said, to me, I think if we're looking at actual fascism and notions of, say, ethno-states and, all this kind of racial type stuff, I just don't see there being any platform for this kind of stuff. I mean, obviously, we can disagree on that. I just see no platform for this kind of stuff. And as you kind of see reading that, liberalism basically will support fascism. And it's a big issue because, how essentially we're just doomed to a cycle, really. We will inevitably end up in another period of fascism as long as we really have liberalism.
Okay.
I don't know. I guess that's about it, I suppose. Oh, and I just wanted to say one other thing.
Okay.
So part of the reason that you have, say, all those people screaming at people like Candace Owens and whatnot, and all those people in MAGA hats getting kicked out of restaurants and whatnot, you understand why that can happen, correct?
Of course it can happen. It's America. They can do that.
I know, but part of the reason that happens is because political ideology is not a protected class.
Well, white political ideology is not a protected class.
I mean, political ideology, period, is not. So, if let's say a bunch of DSA members went to a thing, theoretically, that company could kick out all those DSA members or something like that. It just happens to be most of these people tend to obviously not be on the side of the right, and so they have the authority to kick them out.
It just so happens. Yeah, I mean, they have the authority to do that. Go for it. I mean, it's America. They can do anything they want. I mean, I don't think it's good social strategy because it confirms probably false narratives that right-wingers have, and it pushes people like me who go back and forth between left and right over onto the right side. I think it's terrible social strategy, but it's definitely within their rights to do it.
I mean, to that regard, I would say that if anything is pushing you in a direction, that's probably not what you should be doing. What is this? When people say, oh, look at the left, they're doing all these things, so I'm gonna leave the left and move to the right. That seems really bad to me.
Well, that's
even going likewise,
I mean, that's fine. I'm talking to you about human nature. I'm saying it's bad social strategy. And it's going to backfire. And honestly, when I see shit like that, I go, oh, okay, so Trump 2020, these people are never going to learn. That's all it does with me. It amazes me that leftists are in such echo chambers. Not all leftists, but the leftists who justify this stuff. They're in such an echo chamber that nobody's stopping to say, you know what? Maybe this is bad social strategy.
I mean, the argument would be the reality that Unite the Right 2 only had 28 people would indicate, for us at least, that it is a good strategy.
Okay. Unite the Right is less than 0.02% of our population. Unite the Right is not what got Trump elected. Regular people out in the Rust Belt who feel forgotten and oppressed are the ones that got Trump elected. And when they see the shit that leftists are pulling, all you're doing is galvanizing them. And what you're doing is you're making people, you're giving Trump enough ammo to say, forget about my bullshit policies and the shit that I fucked up. Look at these people. And you're giving those people enough excuses to get distracted from the real issues. And that's why I think it's a terrible social strategy.
I mean, I think for, say, those Rust Belt people, I think the real question is, are those Rust Belt people doing any better now than they were before?
Yeah, but
I think that answer would be a clear no.
My guy, that's exactly the conversation that needs to happen. What you're not understanding is when they see white people getting assaulted by black people for wearing MAGA hats, and when they see white people getting booted out of restaurants, you have now lost the ability to reason with that argument because of what just happened. That's what I'm trying to explain to you. That's why it's bad social strategy. Let the people sit in the restaurant so that you could take that weapon away from Trump, and then now you can reason with the Rust Belt people. But as long as you're doing this shit, I guarantee you're going to have Trump for another 4 years. You're not understanding. You didn't learn the lesson. Because I agree with you. I think you're right. But the intellectual rigor that you want to apply to these voters, you're not applying to your side. And so what's happening is you guys are doing all this inflammatory shit, and you're providing so much bulletin board material for Trump that you're not understanding the peril that this puts into the next election. You don't see that as a problem at all.
I don't think it's quite to the... How can I put this? I don't think it's quite as big a deal as you think it is.
Okay.
But I mean, I suppose, maybe. Actually, recently, I just I listened to a podcast from Zero Books. They're kind of like, I guess, like a leftist book publisher.
Okay.
And the podcast
Wait, sorry.
actually largely about kind of what you're saying.
Wait. Stop. What's the name of this podcast?
Zero Books.
Say again?
Zero Books.
Zero Books.
ZERO.
Okay, go ahead.
And the episode is called, is there like a mass AntiFa movement or whatever? And the kind of argument was actually against, because like the alt-right has kind of been killed now, as a result of Unite the Right 2, we should be, instead of kind of focusing on that, we should be shifting the conversation towards things like universal health care and things like that, and kind of less focusing on that kind of stuff. And basically pushing towards, social democratic programs and policies.
Okay. I agree totally. Why don't you do that instead of kicking old ladies out of restaurants, my guy?
I guess we'll just have to see.
All right, man.
I love you guys.
I appreciate the sources. I love you, my guy. Even though I was disagreeing with you, I love you to death.
I mean, it's definitely like obviously there are all these people talking in the chat. Or whatever. It's definitely a different feeling when you're talking, actually on Skype.
Yeah, it is, isn't it? Than just in the chat.
Also, because like I'll admit, most of these kind of topics and whatnot, it's so easy to say like, watch this hour-long YouTube video, like watch this other hour-long YouTube video, and actually having to discuss these things in greater detail is a lot more difficult, because it's you bring up things that you haven't really thought about, or things that you kind of just assumed to kind of just not be the case,
No, I hear you. Anybody who calls in, I have the utmost respect for them. I mean, it's not as easy as people think it is, especially with me. Good Lord. All right, my guy. I love you. I think somebody else is calling up.
All right. I love you. Also, one more thing.
Go ahead.
Where's Decibel Omega?
It's on my short list.
What the fuck? We did Batushka?
No, seriously.
We did Alagok or whatever. Hey, bro, can you tell me how to pronounce that band properly?
I believe it's Agalok.
It's literally, it's on my short list here. I'm gonna move that because it's very, I don't want people seeing, but it's yeah.
Decibel's on there?
Yeah, Decibel Omega. I saw it in the, when I was going around and I'm like, oh my gosh, we're so behind on that one.
Okay, so we did Batushka, we did Agal. What's wrong with you?
So.
All right, yeah, it's on the way.
Yeah, I seriously want to do like a week of like underground shows of bands we haven't done, so.
I thought we were going to keep that, like, not tell people.
No, this was my idea, and I never had an idea of keeping that a secret from people. I wanted to tell them. I wanted to build the excitement. Sorry, when are you going to argue with someone on here? I don't know.
All right, I'm gonna get off now.
All right, see ya.
My guy. Have a good one, buddy.
I got my ass kicked a bit, but whatever.
All right, my guy. Have a good one.
All right, you too.
Bye.
I don't know. If somebody said they wanted to call up and argue with me, I'd do it.
He's a good egg, huh?
I'm just not like I've never really been into a lot of political stuff, so I don't know. I probably could talk about it, but I won't argue stridently like Vin does.
I think we're winding down. I think that's pretty much the end of the fireside. I'm all tired. I'm all tuckered out.
Yeah.
I'm all tired. I didn't think I was gonna get that exercised.
What happens is I get busy over here.
Yeah.
Steven said that he's gonna make he was like, I guess he was gonna draw something of both of us, and I was like, well, what about making you into a warrior and me into a warrior? And then he was like, okay. And then, but I really felt like that he was supposed to do in Acts. Remember where Stephen is getting stoned and it says that the clouds opened, the heaven opened, and he saw the Son of Man, like that whole scene.
Yeah.
Like I kept feeling like that's what he was supposed to do, but I really wanted him to do us as warriors. So I said us as warriors, and then I'm like, and also you might want to do the Stephen one. And he was like, actually, that's where my name came from. I'm like, oh, damn it. I'm like, I think that's what God wants you to do. Forget about the warriors. And then Nexus made a picture of me with me as a warrior. He's like, I was supposed to be working, but I wasted the last half an hour making you into a warrior. He said that he's going to make you next as a Viking. And I was like, gosh. I said, yeah, I was like, give him one of those long hair things like Ragnar had, but I said, but make sure it's like a black one with dreads.
Ragnar Lothbrok.
Yeah.
Ragnar's my guy. Yeah, so, I'm all tuckered out. I don't have anything else. What is there to talk about? That was probably the most debatey debate we've ever had. Most of the time, I'm just like, This time, I was like, are you serious right
Yeah.
now? What's wrong with you?
Oh, Insurat, the band. Email us at vinandsori@gmail.com. That's where you can email us. Can you just put my name in the subject? It just...
Where's my guy?
Vin like does a lot of the emails, but I do some of them. But a lot of times I just like put in the search for my name and then answer the ones where somebody says something directly to me. So yeah. So.
Are you sane and logical and wise and eloquent and talk fast? If not, please don't call. What's wrong with this person? Boy. No, I haven't seen. That was a great debate. I thought it was a great debate because he didn't get intimidated. He stuck with it.
Right.
BM fan, that's my guy. What do you want to call about? That's the question.
Well, just do the 2-minute thing where you...
Patreon Dogma movie update. Babe, we've got to actually do an actual date. Because if we put a date out there, then we'll do it.
Justin, don't you think that would make it so we wouldn't do that?
We have to do...
So then it will make you come to the fireside?
I do want to do a Vatane, though. We've got to do a Vatane.
Okay, well then that's the one.
Here.
Storm of the Antichrist.
Golly.
I know.
There was one about they rode on or something like that.
Storm of the Antichrist sounds crazy.
Um,
Check out Castle Rock peeps. Get a
conflation
feel
between
for
personal
it.
responsibility and government. I just called to say I love you. Aw, I appreciate you too. We need a black fascist to call in. Yeah, go ahead.
Dude, you are a master debater.
Who, BM fan? For sure.
You.
For sure. Sorry, can
Oh
you
yeah, Scott. Scott wanted to know how come there's not a lot of black people that love metal, or that like there's not a lot of black fans and there's not a lot of like artists that are black. Why is that?
Well, there's not a lot of marketing to black audiences for metal.
How did you find it?
You know. So that's a big part of it. It's not like there's like if you go to a YouTube channel and it's hip hop stuff, you're not going to see any like metal, you know, bands or whatever being advertised. So I think there's a lot of, I mean, if you do the math, it's like, okay, African Americans are, 13% of the population. So where are you going to channel your advertising dollars to? Blah, right? So I think there's just not a lot of advertising to I mean, I do think metal is in the blood of many black people because, jazz is in America has been a pretty black endeavor, and a lot of metal stems from jazz. So we could get into it, and but that's my take anyway. I don't know.
Josh, I do like hiking.
I don't.
And yeah, he's not really a fan. I love it. I love being out in the nature. I like pushing your body like that. I've never tried like cliff climbing, but I am afraid of heights. So I'm not terrified of heights, but I'm afraid of heights. So I think that, like when Vin and I used to like do like hikey things together, like sometimes we would do like edges of things and stuff. I was kind of always afraid to do it, but he kind of like, I don't know, gave me that energy that made me want to like follow and do it too. So I think that if I was with somebody that like did that, like I think that I would want to like probably try it out too, but I don't see Vin going and doing that, so probably wouldn't do the cliff. My cousin does it though, and I've often thought of going with him sometimes and doing it, but then I'm like, wait a minute, I'm like probably the heaviest I've been all my life, so I'm not sure I want to trust ropes at I don't know, but I'm sure there's people that are like that way more than I do that do it, but like it would make me more nervous. You just actually burst into flames with prolonged sun exposure. Yeah, I don't burn as easily as my sister, but I do burn.
What are your views on special needs kids assaulting someone and not getting disciplined? They need to get disciplined.
She looks like a ghost right now.
Let me tear up a debate. Why do people always want to debate me?
You just bring
Vin,
it out.
the horse is dead. What horse?
You
Love
two
you,
need to
pony.
check out Facebook because you've been schooled. All right. Well, we're jumping off now anyway, so we'll go check it out. Good night, pony. Go to sleep. Rest up.
Universal health care. I agree with you about universal health care.
Bat metal videos? Have you ever heard of bat metal videos?
I've heard
Mikal,
somebody say
thank
something
you.
about bat metal videos. I didn't get to really police the chat. Were you guys not being
I saw her say that, but I don't know if I was like missing it, but because I didn't see a whole lot of hate in the chat. But I mean, I heard people saying like that, like they disagreed or how old is this guy and stuff like that. But I didn't really see like a whole. I didn't feel that it was hateful, but maybe I was missing the hateful things.
The best way to request songs is like if you're around, just request them.
Yeah, the more times that we see it, the more we're like, hey, that's been a big request. Earthlings reaction. I don't know.
We're kind of dodging that on
we
purpose,
are.
man.
I'm not sure.
I'd like a discussion, a religious one.
The animal rights debate, that we didn't do that. I teach cliff climbing, sorry. Shame I can't teach Vin, lol, and thank you for replying.
Shame
Josh,
I can't teach. He can't teach me because I have no legs.
Yeah, but I think that they have
All right.
things for people like you that I do think that there's something.
Is there?
Yeah, I think
The
that there's
prosthetics?
stuff. Yeah, there's stuff.
The back.
Josh, what state do you live in? Just in case we end up doing some speaking thing there. Maybe we can do the cliffs. What's all this 5? Why is everybody saying 5?
I don't know why everybody's saying
You guys,
5.
what does 5 mean? Somebody needs to say 5 equals blah, blah, blah. So we know what it is. Guys, what the heck is 5?
I don't know what 5 is, babe. What is
5 equals... We're hopping off this chat, so you better tell us what 5 is quickly.
I'm going to dream about the mood we never landed on.
Yeah, Jesse was like, I'm going to draw a picture of Sori standing on the moon. I'm like, you should. Then he's like, I'll make the moon Vin's head.
I want a religious debate, too, without Vin mentioning the Bible. How do you have a religious debate without mentioning the Bible? Allahu Akbar. You know what I'll do? I'll mention the Bible and not quote the verse so they won't know. They'll just think I'm really, really smart.
That's true.
Look at this, babe.
I know.
You're going to hell for that shit.
I don't know why I love it when you're telling me I'm going to hell. I think it's so funny whenever you tell me that. You tell me that a lot.
What is 5?
Come on, you guys. What is 5? Just say, oh, well, this is going fast. 5 is the wall. Okay.
Oh, the
Typo
wall.
negative. Thank you, Jay.
Oh, I see. Thank you.
Did you just have a hiccup?
I think I did.
Oh.
Type 5 for... What about Thomas Jefferson's Bible? What about Thomas Jefferson's Bible? I won't debate anyone without the Bible.
Didn't Thomas Jefferson have a...
He just took out all the supernaturalism.
He did? Didn't he also have the, Didn't he also have a Quran?
You should make your shirt that would face down after the commonly worn Che shirt.
Wait,
yeah,
what?
I should. Yeah, the Che Guevara shirt that all the stupid commie kids wear.
Yeah, what about it?
And they're all like exalting Che Guevara. He's a ruthless, bloodthirsty murderer. Look at this. I agree. Vin is very lucky. You said you don't like the concept of hell. Do you believe in it? Yes, I do believe in it.
Oh, he lives in the UK. You can do selling a building as they lower you down. So there is stuff that you could do. Yeah. Yeah, you could do it. You could do something too. Well, if we ever land up in the UK,
I'll sure to give you a ring.
Yeah.
Is your shirt coming out in 2018? Yes, my shirt is coming out in 2018.
Oh my gosh. Did you see that one?
Okay, I think we got that other
Appointment.
that other thing. What happened?
They want to know what happened to your legs. I don't know if are you going to say that now?
I'm not having that discussion.
I'm sorry, I shouldn't laugh. I'm such a mean person to you. Somebody should rebuke me for that. Okay,
also,
you guys.
I can prove more or less that God and Jesus is just as evil and as corrupted, if not more, than Satan. I challenge
both of you.
All caps, wink, wink of you.
Okay.
Okay, are you in the chat? Whoever said that to me? Do I believe Satan is a supernatural entity? Yes.
Look.
Oh my gosh.
You guys check out Facebook so you can see
That is
Nexus
ridiculous.
Media's warrior picture of me.
What is the point of
look,
this?
it's you! It's half done!
Was it?
Yes, it's you. It's half done. As soon as he finishes Vin, I'll put it up.
Actually.
Oh my gosh, that's hilarious. Oh my gosh. Oh, I love it. Nexus, you're in trouble. You keep doing this, messing around, you're gonna lose your job.
Well, God is the one who brings fire in the OT. He's also the one who brings fire in the new T. What's your point? What is your guys' knowledge of Islam? I have a question about it for you guys. Okay.
I challenge both of you to get in shape. Honestly, Jeff, I was thinking like, if I was like some company that had some like health program or something like that, I would send us it and be like, do this, and we would be an advertisement for it. But nobody's reached out because seriously, I mean, both of us have a little extra.
God's keeping the devil around for very specific reasons. He can evaporate him anytime he wants. That's true.
It would be funny if his kids turned out to be atheists.
That would not be funny.
Okay.
I challenge both of you to argue with an SJW. No. Flawless.
Cool, Josh. He said if we're ever in the UK, he'll give us a lesson.
Okay.
You could do him too?
Why did Jesus call out his own name if his is one? Trinity is the most ridiculous concept man ever made. Armando, your question indicates that you don't understand the Trinity. He wasn't calling out his own name, so...
Tag, you're not on Facebook? I'll try to add the finished warrior pictures to one of our next videos, so keep your eye out. The Beck says, Vin, from one Christian to another, does one's sexual orientation matter in terms of salvation?
What matters in salvation is the heart and what we do from our heart. That's what matters.
Corey, don't lose your job.
Yeah, he was calling the Father. Jesus is not the Father. No Trinitarian believes that Jesus is the Father.
Yeah, we drink coffee.
I drink coffee a lot.
Yep. I don't see anything on Facebook. What do you mean? Go to our Facebook thing. Well, hopefully that's where I posted it.
Is all the Bible literal to you? No, there's lots of places in the Bible where it says this is an allegory, this is a parable. So it's not all literal to me. Of course not. Do I believe the Shroud of Turin is real? I'm undecided. My son is convinced that the Shroud of Turin is real.
Yeah, they have abseiling, so Vin will experience being lowered down 70 feet. So there is something that he can do with you. They're just going to like basically lower you down. Would you do that? Maybe.
I would.
Okay. Yeah, so we'll do that for sure.
For sure.
I don't know why you keep saying Big Bird Ben. I don't even know if you're just joking with me. You know I don't know anything about these musics. It sounds to me like you're just...
Andrew Jackson Jihad.
The only thing I
is the
knew
name
about
of the
Big
band.
Bird was friggin' Sesame Street. I'm like, no, fucking, we're not doing Big Bird.
If you can win against an SJW and a feminazi, I'm becoming a Christian.
Oh, it's because I posted it on Vin Sori 7.
Okay.
Instead of The Village. Hold on, I'll post it on The Ville.
Hi, I'm a new subscriber. Greetings from Argentina. Hello, hello. I just saw a thing with that cop in that hospital with that baby. If you know what I'm referring to, that was awesome. Thank you, Justin. I want to see Vin get offended. Why do people want me to be offended or angry?
Because you don't really, like, you don't do that. You, like, give everybody so much space to have their thoughts and stuff like that. I don't like it when you're mad, but sometimes when you get mad, I think I do like it. I'm like, oh, good.
Will I go to hell when I'm an unbeliever? Do you want God? Do you want to be with God? Is that what you want? If you want God, you'll have him. If you don't want God, he'll give you that too. Are combat sports immoral? I struggle with that because as a person who's a violence junkie, it's something that goes back and forth, and it probably is immoral. Am I blocked? No, you're not blocked. Do you believe in purgatory? No. I do not believe in purgatory.
We wouldn't block you unless we told you we're blocking you.
Rivers of Nihil. We already did Rivers of Nihil. Oh, actually, no, we didn't.
I was like, no, that was a theme in one of them.
We did Waters of Ain, but we didn't do Rivers of Nihil.
I hate how much I don't know about these things.
See ya, Mike. I don't know what yesterday's ordeal was, but okay.
he was working with somebody who's special needs, and they tried to strangle him. So he
Jeez.
like got assaulted.
Man.
Yeah. That's tough, because when somebody's special needs, you feel like, they're special needs. So, but at the same time, sometimes they're very violent. And that's an extremely difficult thing, to have that as a, I don't know if it's your job or what. Damn it.
Do you listen to music after the reactions? Yes. So Megwa, I think is how you say it. Batushka, Carnival, we'll listen to all of those. And also Nightwish.
I listen to some of them too. Not the same ones as Vin does, actually. I mean, like, some of them I listen to the same, but...
Yes, we are doing Blister Exists by Slipknot soon.
When is Sori going to review that Ghost album? Honestly, I don't know if we told you this, but one of our children broke our CD player, so that has to be replaced before I can even play the CD.
See, Cassandra?
We told them, do not touch the CD player under any circumstances. This is now part of our job, and, we need it for YouTube, and it's like we never even said those words. He just went ahead and did whatever he wanted, and now it's no longer working. And it was like a nice one, like one of those 3 CD things. And
what do you mean no answer? I gave you an answer.
The computer is a CD player. No,
Thank you,
it's
Paula.
not. There's no CD. There's no place to put a CD inside of my computer.
Not this computer. This computer was bought for a very, very specific reason. We need a Vin and Sori convention in Vegas. That's happening next year.
In Vegas, though?
vinandsori@gmail.com, Jeff. We're not going to have, as you can imagine, we're not going to be able to have a ton of time with you. But we'll do our best. Who's calling me? Is that my guy? Somebody's calling me on Facebook. I don't know who that is. Are you still buying me dinner? Yes. If you
Who's
text,
that, Ben?
That's Ben. If you text me, Ben, I will call any place in Iowa and have them deliver food to you. That's real talk.
Oh, I thought we were doing dinner.
We've
with
done
him.
it before.
Yeah,
well,
but is he talking? Is that
well,
what he's talking about?
yeah, and if we, of course.
Well, Ben, whatever you want. If you want something now, or if you want something later when we're around there, whatever you want. If you want both, let us know.
Yeah. If I don't believe in God but live a good life in the eyes of God, if he is real, what do you think happens to me after death? Well, what happens to you is because you've lived your life outside of God, you're not going to... Basically, my belief system right now is whatever you do now and whatever path you're walking now is the path you're going to walk in the afterlife. And so... If you live a godless life, and I don't mean immoral necessarily, I just mean godless without God. If you live a godless life now, you're going to have a godless life then.
People are saying, not Vegas. Somebody asked a question.
We really got to go.
Yeah, I know. I'm ready. Okay, guys, we love you. Oh, did you fix the beeping smoke detector? Please let me tell the people this story again. I don't know what the problem was with the smoke detector. I changed the batteries, and then it'll stop for like a day or two, and then it goes right back to beeping. It doesn't matter. I've bought different brands. It doesn't matter. So I left it alone, and randomly it stops beeping. So I think that, obviously, I think there's an issue here in this apartment, but... I don't know what to do.
Mr. Neelis has a very interesting point. He says, you're not going to want to go to heaven. The Christian idea of going to heaven is to praise God for all eternity. Yes, that is the idea. I don't think you understand the implications of what that means in a fully orbed sense. But when he says you're not going to want to go to heaven, that's him saying, I wouldn't want to go to heaven. And so nobody who wants God, the true God, is going to be denied him. And the people that don't want him, God's not going to force himself on them in the afterlife.
Oh, guys, guess what? Doug got a hold of me.
Doug did. That's right. We gotta do
So
something.
he is still in the village.
Doug does exist.
He does. And you know what? Honestly, we're going to do whatever song review he wants. I don't even care what the guy wants. I mean, we're terrible people. So.
Yeah.
Doug lives. Yeah. Doug is, yeah, he emailed me. I'm like, oh.
Yeah, those concepts are wrong, Deep Side 777. I mean, there's no way to justify that from a biblical perspective at all.
So he's like, you guys should introduce BP the next time. I'll just wait. And if I hear it, I'll be like, and BP. What is Doug's story?
Doug. I'll let Doug. Only Doug can tell Doug's story.
No, it's out there. He called in, and Vin announced his name on the fireside chat. And so then everybody was like, oh, so Doug this, Doug that. And so then he was like gone. We thought we lost him for our terribleness. Sorry, some smoke detectors also detect other stuff, so maybe that's what's happening. That's true. I get it.
All right. It's time for me to go. On that note.
Okay, guys. Good night. We love you. You gonna say Vin out?
Love y'all. Big shout out to BM Fan for the big jousting session. Appreciate you, big homie. Sori is the beauty made woman. I agree.
What's BBC?
I don't know. You promised
Okay.
Pink Floyd. We promised Pink Floyd in the month of August, and it's not done yet. So we
Promised it in August?
We still have a shot at keeping to our word. All right, we really have to go though.
Okay.
Vin out.
Sori out.
Gone. No, I just got here. Sorry. I'm very sorry.
Wait. How do I do this?
I'm just force quit it, and then I think it'll be done. You see where it says game capture? Why are you quitting all those? Why do you
Why not?
quit all those?